So let us see looping statements. Now Java provide different types of looping statements like entry control loops, exit control loops, and labeled loops. The looping statements are used to execute one or more than one statement more than one time. So a given problem can be solved by executing a statement one time, or a given problem can be solved by executing a statement more than one time. So in order to execute one statement or a group of statements more than one time, we are trying to put all these statements within one loop. So first we'll see entry control loops. So these entry control loops are three. One is while loop, for loop, and enhanced for loop. A while loop is a control structure. So a while loop is a control structure that allows you to repeat a task certain number of times. So where while is called as an entry control loop. So where in entry control loop, the statements, the expression is evaluated before executing statements. In entry control loop, the expression is evaluated before executing statements. If the expression is true, then only it executes statements. Otherwise, it doesn't execute statements. Now, if you see this is a syntax of using while Boolean expression. If the expression is true, execute statement. Then if expression is true, execute statement. And this statements execute until this expression returns true. Once it is false, it come out of the loop. When executing, if the Boolean expression result is true, then the statements inside the loop will be executed. This will continue as long as the expression result is true. Here key point of the while loop is that the loop might not ever run. When the expression is tested and the result is false, the loop body will be skipped and the next statement of the while loop will be executed. Because of that, you are saying it as entry control loop statement. And there is one more entry control loop which is called as for statement. The syntax for is now for which followed by initialization, condition, and updation. So every loop required three statements. One is initialization, condition, and incrementation or updation. When it comes to a while loop, this has been given at different places. But when it comes to a for loop, all these three statements are given at one place. Now the syntax of Java and C is the same. The way, suppose if you already know in C language, like while and for, the usage of the syntax of using while and for in Java also same. So for initialization, condition, and updation statement. So first it does initialization, then it will verify the condition. If condition is true, it execute statement. Then after that, it will do the updation. Then after that, condition. If the condition is true, it executes statement. And after that again updation, then condition is true, then execute statement, then updation. If the condition is false, come out of the for loop. Now this is a simple example. If count is 1, count is less than 75, and count plus plus printed count value. So it will print the values from 1 to 74. Initialization, count value is 1. 1 is less than 75, print count which is 1. Count plus plus which becomes 2, and 2 is less than 75, it will print 2. But this for loop having only one statement, and this for loop is having multiple statements. In order to include multiple statements, we need to use a block. So the block defines a block of statements which contain one or more than one statement. Each expression in a for loop is optional. If the initialization is left out, no initialization is performed. If the condition is left out, it is always considered to be a true and therefore makes the infinite. And if the increment is left out, no incrementation operation is performed, but both semicolons are always required. Now this is one more for loop which is introduced in Java 1.5 or 5.0, that is enhanced for loop. And this for loop is mainly used for reading the elements from the array or collections without using index. Now this is syntax is for and variable or array name or collection. Here array name is the name of the array. For example, now there is an array which contain even numbers and I want to read each time one value and print. Then I am using for integer t evens. Now what this for loop does is every time it will read one value from array and assign it to t and execute statement. So first it will read 2 and assign it to t and print the t value. Second it will read 4 and assign it to t and print value 4. Then it read 6 and then assign it to 2 and print 6. Now this enhanced for loop is used to read the elements from the array or collection. Now we can write a loop inside a loop, and which has been called as nested loops. The placing of one loop inside the body of another loop is called nesting. One looping statement can be within or with another type of looping statement. While can be used as inner or outer loop with for statement or do while statement, vice versa. Like for within for we have written for. Now this is nested for within while. Now this is nested loop. So nested loop can be either for loop or while loop, or it can be do while. Now there is an exit control loop. Now where uh, while and for loops are called entry controls, where the condition is checked before executing statements or body of the loop. But when it comes to exit control loop, the body of the loop is executed first and then evaluate the condition. Now where do these statements first and then check the condition. It is similar to a while statement, except this its termination condition is evaluated after the loop body executed. Because of that it is called exit control loop statement. So Java is introduced labeled loops. Now break and continue statements are used as label loop statements. We can use simply break and break followed by the loop label. The break statement has two forms. One is labeled and unlabeled. An unlabeled break statement terminates innermost switch, for loop, while loop, or do while statement. But a labeled break terminates an outer statement which followed by the label. In the same way, continue can be written with label and without label. The continue statement skips the current iteration of a for or while or do while loop. The unlabeled form skips to the end of the innermost loop's body and evaluates the Boolean expression that controls the loop. The continuous statement skips the rest of the loop and shifts the program control to the starting of the loop. A labeled continuous statement skips the current iteration of an outer loop marked with a given label. We'll see an example on this, like break with label and continue with the label. So there is one more statement which is called as return, which is used in methods. The last of the branching statement is a return statement. The return statement exits from the current method and control flow returns to where method was invoked. The return statement has two forms. One is a return with value and other one is a return without value. The data type of the return value must match the type of the method's declared return value. When method is declared void, use the form of return that doesn't return value, which indicates terminating execution of method. So this is while loop demo. So this is an example which generates numbers from 1 to 10. As I said, every iterator required initialization and condition and updation. So this program generates the numbers from 1 to 10. So initially the value of I is 1 and print a message on the console numbers. 1 is less than 10. This is a condition. So 1 is less than 10. Condition is true. So it will print I value which is 1 and I plus plus. The value of I is incremented by 1 which becomes 2 and 2 is less than 10. It print a value 2. I plus plus 3 and 3 is less than 10. Print a value 3. Now this is done until the value of I is 11. Suppose 11 is less than 10, this condition is false, then the control come out of the while loop. Now see the execution of this program. This is a program, while loop demo. So generated all the numbers between from 1 to 10. Now this is an example for loop. The same example which we did using while loop, we are doing it with the help of for loop. The difference is in for loop itself we are writing all the statements like initialization, condition and updation. But whereas in while loop these three statements are given at three different places. Like initialization is given outside, condition is given as a part of while, updation is given within while. But when it comes to for, all these statements are given as a part of for, separated with semicolon. So I value is 1 and 1 is less than or equal to 10. Print 1. Then I plus plus it becomes 2 and 2 is less than or equal to 10. It print 2. I plus plus 3 and 3 is less than or equal to 10. It print 3. And this is done until I value is 11. So 11 is less than 10. This condition is false. So come out of the loop. So only the difference between while and for is syntax. And not only that, a logic required to execute a statement's number of times we use for loop. The logic required, we don't know how many times the statement has to be executed, and we'll go for while loop. Now let us see the compilation. And execution. Now generated numbers from 1 to 10. So this is an example for nested while loop. So where we are generating tables from 1 to 2. We are generating the table for 1 as well as 2. So this is nested while. A while within a while is called as a nested while. So here, now this is a outer loop and this is an inner loop. So outer loop is used for reading numbers and inner loop is used for multiplying that number 10 times. So I value is 1 and 1 is less than 2. Then this is initialization for inner loop. J value is 1 and this inner loop gets executed 10 times. Means the value I is multiplied. I is multiplied with J 10 times. So 1 is less than 10, then 1 into 1 is 1 and J plus plus it becomes 2 and 2 is less than 10 and 1 into 2 is 2, J plus plus 3 and 3 is less than 10, 1 into 3, 3 and J plus plus 4. Now this is executed until the J value is 11 is less than 10, which is false. Come out of the inner loop and execute the statement available in outer loop. I plus plus, the value of I becomes 2 and 2 is less than or equal to 2, condition is true. Then again J value becomes 1 and 2 is multiplied 10 times. Then I plus plus, it becomes 3 and 3 is less than 2, the condition is false. Then come out of the outer loop. Now we'll compile and execute. Now this is numbers tables generated from 1 to 2. This is the first table and this is a second table. Okay, now this is nested for loop. So as I said, the difference between for and while is only in the syntax, whereas in while the initialization is given outside, the condition is given as a part of loop, and updation is given inside the loop. But whereas in for loop, the initialization, condition, updation, all these three statements are given as a part of for loop. Now this both the examples generate the tables from 1 to 2. So this is a outer loop which is used for generating numbers. So each time it will read one value. So first time I value is 1 and 1 is less than 2. So this for loop multiply that number 10 times. Then after that I value becomes 2 and 2 is equal to 2 and then multiply that 2 10 times. The same example which we did using nested while loop. Now this while loop read the numbers and then inner while loop multiply that number 10 times. So where this is initialization and this is updation and this is condition. But these three statements, when it comes to a for loop, it is written as one single for. This is initialization and this is condition and this is updation. We'll see the compilation and execution. So the output is two tables. So this is an example for label loop. So label loop is nothing but we are trying to include a loop inside a label and we are controlling this with the help of two statements. One is break and other one is continue. Now this for loop is given one label called outer loop, and this is an example for generating prime numbers from 1 to 50, but it terminates if it found a non-prime number. Suppose outer loop, this is for reading numbers, and inner loop is finding a number is prime or not. Suppose I value is 1 and 1 is less than 50, then j value is 2 and 2 is not less than 1, then it come out of this inner for loop and execute statement of outer for loop, which is 1. Then I plus plus, it becomes 2 and 2 is less than 50. Then j is 2 and 2 is less than 2, the condition is false. Then come out of the inner loop and print I value, which is 2. I plus plus 3 and 3 is less than 50. Then again j value is 2 and 2 is less than 3, condition is true. Then 3 mod 2, remainder is not 0. Then j plus plus, it becomes 3 and 3 is less than 3, this condition is false. Come out of the for loop and print the value 3. Then I plus plus, it becomes 4 and 4 is less than 50 and j value is 2 and 2 is less than 4 and 4 mod 2, remainder is 0. Then break outer loop, means it terminates this for loop. So the control come out of this for loop and execute this statement. That is, the rest of the loop iteration were skipped as 4 is not a prime number. So we'll see the compilation and execution. This is compiling. And this is the prime numbers from 1 to 50. That is 1, 2, 3. The rest of the loop iterations were skipped as 4 is not a prime number. So this is an example for labeled loop with continuous statement. So as I said, the labeled loop is giving a name to the loop. Now this for loop is given name called outer loop. Now this example is generating the factorial of a numbers from 1 to 5, but it will generate only the factorial for the number which is odd number, but if it is even number, we are trying to use continue. We'll see this example, but it generates the factorial only for odd numbers. So the control first, outer loop, it define one label called outer loop. Now within this there is one loop. So where I value is 1 and 1 is less than or equal to 5. So factorial is 1 and j is 2 and 1 is less than 2 is less than or equal to 1. This condition is false. Then factorial for 1 is 1. Then I plus plus, it becomes 2 and 2 is less than or equal to 2. Then factorial is 1 and 2 is less than or equal to 2. Because 2 mod 2 is 0, so here continue outer loop. So the control is moved to outer loop. So this statement is not executed because the number is even number. So the control transfer from this place to outer loop, and I plus plus, it becomes 3 and 3 is less than or equal to 5. A factorial is 1 and 2 is less than or equal to 3. Then 3 mod 2, remainder is not 0. Then factorial is factorial into j. It's nothing but 1 into 2 is 2. Then j plus plus, it becomes 3, and 3 is less than or equal to 3, and 3 mod 2 is not 0, then factorial, that is 3 into 2, it becomes 6. And j plus plus, it becomes 4, and 4 is less than 3, condition is false. Then it will print the factorial for 3, which is 6. Then I plus plus, it becomes 4, and 4 is less than or equal to 5. Then factorial is 1, and 2 is less than 4, and 4 mod 2 remainder is 0. Because it is even number, it doesn't found factorial. It will go to outer loop, and I plus plus, it becomes 5, and 5 is less than or equal to 5. Then factorial is 1, and 2 is less than 5, and 5 mod 2 remainder is not 0. Then it finds a factorial. Now let us see the compilation. Okay, this is compiled, and you can see factorial for 1, 3 and 5.